Hello, welcome back. It's so good to see you. So today's video is going to be one of the What Am I Watching Now videos. I actually really like making these videos because I watch so much TV and stuff, especially like late at night when I can't sleep. And yeah, it's like I just want to share with you like some good shows or movies or whatever. And then if you have any suggestions for me, that would be cool too. And then I could go watch something new. But yeah, I love TV and movies and stuff because there's so many different shows out there and like genres and stuff. But yeah, I wanted to share with you what I have been watching this month. It's the summer, so I haven't really been watching a lot of the regular shows that have been on lately because, they're all on summer break or whatever. But that's when I get to watch stuff that I normally don't watch because, what else am I going to watch, right? Anyway, so I wanted to share with you the stuff that I've been watching because some of the stuff is like really good. Okay, so the first thing is Dirty John, which is on Netflix. And as always, I will do the Rotten Tomato score and the audience score, and then I'll give you my opinion. But I'm talking about season 1 and season 2 of Dirty John because season 2 just came out, but I had never even heard of Dirty John. So I was like, well, before I watch season 2, I gotta watch season 1. That's not actually the case because Dirty John is an anthology, so each season is different. And I love how a lot of shows or whatever are anthology now. I think it's so cool because they can use a lot of the same actors if they want to. I don't know. It's cool to me. But anyway, Dirty John on Netflix. Season 1 is the John Meehan story, and Rotten Tomatoes gave that a 71%. The audience score gave it 64%. I thought that show was great. Like, it was just mind-blowing. But season 1 stars Connie Britton and Eric Bana, and it's just it's a true story. These are all true stories, by the way. But it's a true story about this woman. She's like an interior designer or something like that. And she goes on a date. She's a bit older. Like, her kids are grown and in college and stuff. But she goes on a date with this man named John Meehan. Meehan, I don't know. I guess that's how you say his last name. But he's very charming and, but her daughters think that something's off about him. But the mom, she just doesn't see it. I think she's just lonely and stuff, and I don't know, but it turns out that his name is John in the show, but it's Eric Bana. Turns out that Eric Bana is like a con man or something. But they end up getting married, and the story just is crazy, and it takes all these twists and turns and stuff, and it's like a really good story. And the woman, I can't remember her name in the show, but Connie Britton plays the woman at the end. She was obviously super embarrassed by what had happened and stuff, but she gave permission to have her story told so that other women would see the types of traps that con men can, leave for you and stuff. I don't know, sorry, that was my ring. But yeah, super, super good, and I never saw the end coming. I was just like, what? Super good. So I don't know why it got such low scores, but I highly recommend it. Now the second season, there's nobody in it named John. I think that's just the name of it because of the first season had a John character in it, but it doesn't matter. So the second season of Dirty John is the Betty Broderick story, and that stars Amanda Peet and Christian Slater. And I was like, Christian Slater, I haven't seen him in anything in like forever. But anyway, yeah, so Rotten Tomatoes gave that a 90%, and then the audience score was 84%. And yeah, the second season was better than the first season, but it was just crazy. It's a true story of a marriage that is ending in a divorce, and you know, there's two sides to every divorce, but I don't know. I don't want to give too much away, but it's just crazy, and I wish they would have done a two-sided story on that one, because I would have liked to have seen the man's point of view of the story, because Betty Broderick was kind of crazy, but she was justified in a lot of the things that she did, you know, so I don't know, but I highly recommend both of those, season 1 and season 2 of Dirty John, because it is just amazing. And I'm like, is there going to be a third season? The second season just came out, and I'm already like, third season, please. I'm very excited for it. Okay, the next thing, it's a movie. It's called Good on Paper. It's on Netflix, and it stars Eliza Schlesinger and Ryan Hansen. I've never seen either of those two people, but apparently she's like some kind of comedian. I've never seen her before, but this story, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 53%, and the audience score gave it a 38. I don't know why. I mean, it's not like my favorite movie, but it's a good movie. It's really good. But yeah, it's about this comedian. They changed her name in the movie, but she plays herself, and she always puts her career first, that kind of thing, but she lets her guard down for this dorky friend that she met on a plane, and you know, it starts out good, but then it's like, is this too good to be true? What's going on? And literally at the beginning of the movie, it says this movie is based on a true story based on a lie, and I didn't understand what that meant until I got to the very end of the movie, and I was just like, oh, okay, because it's kind of like I don't know, the dorky guy, he's not a con man, he just lied, and he didn't need to, but it's really funny, but also really like terrible for the comedian chick. I don't know, but I mean, she obviously got through it, and she made a movie based off of it, so I'm sure she's good. I don't know, but it was an interesting, different kind of movie, very funny. Okay, the next one, I did not want to see this. I did not want to see the movie at all. But then I read an article, and I was like, okay, I am gonna have to watch this movie just because of the article. And I have no idea what the article was or anything like that, but this is a movie called Willie's Wonderland. It's on Hulu, and it stars Nicolas Cage. I'm pretty sure the article that I read said that it was the best, worst movie that you will ever see. It's so bad it's good, or something like that, and there were just all these comments in regards to the movie, and I was like, what is this? I want to see it, because I didn't see it pop up on Hulu, and I was just like, But after reading the article, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to power through and watch it. So Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 61%, but the audience score was 71%. Like, I'm gonna have to go with a higher score. And yes, it is a terrible, awful movie. Like, just bad. But it's so bad that you just keep watching it to see what's gonna happen next, how's it gonna end, how things turn out. So it is the best worst movie that you'll ever see, and it's like John Wick meets Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay. So this guy, Nicolas Cage, I don't even know his name in the movie. I don't think they even tell you. But he's super cool. And he is driving around and he accidentally runs over some like police spikes, that were accidentally laid down in the road, and it like ruins his car. So this, like, he calls a tow truck, and I don't know. But yeah, he was going to pay. It's starting to rain, so if you hear stuff, that's what it is. He wanted to pay for the repairs, so he handed them his debit card, and they're like, oh no, we don't got internet around here, so, but he didn't have any cash. And so the mechanic guy was like, well, maybe there's a guy that can help you out here. Of course there is. And he says, well, since you're unable to pay, why don't you work it off? And he says, okay. So he agrees to spend the night cleaning, like as a janitor, Willie's Wonderland. And so that's what he does. But Willie's Wonderland is kind of like Chuck E. Cheese or, Five Nights at Freddy's. But like Five Nights at Freddy's, the little animatronic creatures, they come to life, and they'll kill you and eat you. But Nicolas Cage is unaware of this secret, and so he has to survive a night there. The story is very complicated after that. There's lots of side stories and stuff like that, but it's so stupid. It's so stupid, but I ended up watching it because it was like, what am I watching? It was so entertaining and hilarious, and I really like Nicolas Cage. He is a really good actor. I don't care what people say about him. He's really good. Like, I don't understand why he doesn't make more mainstream movies. I know that he's had a lot of divorces and stuff, and people have said that he has to do a bunch of B movies or just a bunch of crap movies so that he can pay his alimony stuff, but I don't care. He is a great actor, especially like in The Family Man. I freaking loved that movie, The Family Man. But anyway, this movie, he really uses his acting skills. He does not say not one word in the entire movie. Nothing. How does that, how? But you know what he's thinking or what he's meaning to say, but he's so cool that he doesn't even need to talk. I don't know. It's a really funny, awful movie. So, yeah. And, okay, so the next one is on HBO Max, and it's Mare of Easttown, and it stars Kate Winslet, Gillian Nicholson, and Evan Peters. Now, I did not want to see this show at all, just because I saw the trailer and I was like, ugh, I didn't like Kate Winslet's accent in the trailer, and I was like, I don't know if I can sit through that. You know, it's a mini series. I think there's like 7, maybe 8 episodes. So it's just one season. I don't think they'll bring it back. But Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 94%, and the audience score was 93%. I did not want to see this at all, but I was running out of things to watch, and then I pulled it up just to look at it, and I saw that Evan Peters was in it, and I was like, oh my god, I love Evan Peters. He's from American Horror Story. He's just he's a really good actor. Like, I don't know, I just love everything that he's ever been in. And so as soon as I found out that Evan Peters was in it, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to power through this one, because he wouldn't be in anything that was crap. He just wouldn't. So I watched it, and yeah, it's just this mini series about a detective, which is Kate Winslet, and she's trying to solve a murder and disappearances in her town. But it's like a real whodunit, you know what I mean? Like, everybody looks suspicious. Things are not adding up. Like, the whole time I'm like, oh, they did it because this and this. And I'm like, maybe they didn't do it. Maybe it was that person. That person over there looks suspicious too. What is going on? And you don't find out anything until the very end. And it's so good. The ending is just shocking. Like, just so good. So good. So if you haven't seen that, get on it, because it's great. Okay, and then I saw a movie on Amazon. It was The Tomorrow War, and that was starring Chris Pratt. I love Chris Pratt. He's so funny. But Rotten Tomatoes gave it a score of 53%. Like, what? The audience score was 79. Yeah, it's interesting. I watched it because I follow Chris Pratt on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and he really hyped it up big time. And so he got me excited about watching the movie. Yeah, my kids are playing in the next room. I don't know if you can hear that, but if you can, sorry. Anyway, this movie it's one of those movies that, like, you don't know where it's going. I love movies like that are so unpredictable that I'm glued to the screen, because I'm like, what is going to happen next? It's one of those kind of movies. But it's about these time travelers that arrive in 2021 from the year 2051 to deliver a message that in 30 years we are going to be invaded by aliens, and we're going to be at war, and we're losing the war. And it's like insane. It and the graphics are so great. So great. It's just really, really good and super unpredictable, and I really liked that. Like, you think you know where it's going, but then it doesn't go there, and then you think you know the end, but nope, you're wrong again. It's just so good. But I can see why Rotten Tomatoes gave it like kind of a crap score. It's because in the beginning it's super good, and the graphics are great, and like, you know how sometimes you see those movies where they have like aliens in them or something, but they always run by real quick and you only get a glimpse and you can't really see them or anything like that. I hate movies like that. But this movie, you get full on up close with the aliens, and it's like, they're terrifying. terrifying, and I'm like, gosh, please don't look like that, aliens. But yeah, I think it got kind of a crap score because towards the end, the writing and the lines got kind of cheesy, which is weird because the beginning of the movie was so good, and then the ending, they used like these weird little one-line cheesy dialogues. Like, I don't know, I feel like the ending could have been better, but the main part of the movie was so good that I don't really care how it ended. It was just really good. And then the last thing on the list is, it's like a series, but it's a series of movies. It's Fear Street on Netflix, and it's Fear Street 1994, Fear Street 1974, and Fear Street 1666. Again, it's on Netflix, and it's like one big massive movie, but you're not going to sit down for a 7-8 hour movie, but if they break it into 3 movies, you'll binge it. Like, what's up with that? But super good. Okay, so 1994 got a Rotten Tomatoes score of 83 and an audience score of 65. I can see how it would get that, just because out of all of them, it wasn't the best. But when you start a movie, the beginning part, it has to build the story. You know what I mean? Like, you have to build the story. 1974 gets way better. Way better. The Rotten Tomato score was 89 and the audience score was 83. And it makes you better understand the things that happened in 1994. I don't know, it's like you're watching the movie backwards, like Star Wars or something, but it makes sense that way. And then the 1666 Rotten Tomato score was 94%, audience score was 84%. So it's like the further along you go in this movie series, the better it gets. And it's so good. It's about this town. It's called like Shady Side versus Sunny Side or something like that. Sunnyvale, something like that. And they're basically constantly hating each other. It's not really about that, but it kind of is. And it's one of those, I thought that it was going to be okay for my daughter to watch. I didn't watch it with her. I wanted to try it out first. So me and my husband watched it because it has, it gave me Stranger Things vibes, because it has a bunch of kids in it and stuff. Yeah, and it actually has some of the actors from Stranger Things in the movie. Yeah, and I just thought that it was going to be kid friendly because it is from the writer or author R.L. Stine, which does the Goosebump series, and like Goosebumps is just like good ideas, but it's not really scary at all, but to kids it's a little creepy. So I was just like, oh, it's gonna be like that because it's from R.L. Stine Fear Street book series. I guess those books are for like older kids, like maybe teens or young adults, something like that, because it is not for kids. There is sex in there, but not like intensely or anything. And the violence in 1974 was super intense. Like, it has to do with these serial killers, and not serial killers, well, maybe, I don't know. But there's supposedly like this curse on this town or something, because there was a witch, Mary Fryer or something. I don't know. Maybe that's not her name. Anyway, there's like this, folklore story about a witch from 1666 that hung because, whatever. And so she's cursed the town. All this crap. Anyway, but yeah, the first one, 1994, it's a little scary, but 1974 gets really intense and like in your face with the violence. Like, there's this guy who goes killing people with this axe, and it's like I could feel the axe. Like, it was so loud and intense. Oh, so if you don't like gore or that kind of thing, don't watch these. But it's super good. And me and my husband, we just finished 1666 last night. That completed, and it like explained everything from 1974 to 1994. It made you understand everything, and I don't know, it was just really, really good. Yeah, but I'm a little disappointed because I can't let my daughter see it because it's too violent, and because some of the sex stuff, I don't want to expose her to that. But anyway, yeah, so if you were wondering if you should watch Fear Street, do it. It is super, super good. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I've been watching for the month of July. So I think I'm gonna do one of these videos like every month towards the end of the month, because I really like talking about these shows and stuff. It's fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.